One Republican is feeling hope for the elusive grand bargain as the House and Senate move forward with their spending plans this week. Take a listen.
I think Republicans, if they saw true entitlement reform, would be glad to look at tax reform that generates additional revenues. And that doesn't mean increasing rates. That means closing loopholes. It also means arranging our tax system so that we have economic growth.
But House Speaker John Boehner is digging in, not showing any sign of compromise on taxes.
The president got his tax hikes on January the 1st. The talk about raising revenue is over. It's time to deal with the spending problem.
All right, I'm joined now by Congressman Adam Schiff, Democrat from California and a member of the Appropriations Committee. Congressman, thanks for being here.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, so when you hear Speaker Boehner at the moment coming out with very strong words, not showing any sort of nick in the front here, is this just sort of his first opening bid and that he will perhaps compromise later on?
I think that's exactly what it is. So this is his opening position. He doesn't want to move off it any earlier than he has to. But he also has to realize that if he wants to make a deal, if this is going to be the grand bargain, that he's going to have to give on revenue. So far, we've done about $2.5 trillion of deficit reduction. It's been about 3-to-1 cuts to new revenue. There's plenty of room to cut more, and there's plenty of room to raise revenue, and that's going to have to be part of any big package.
Okay, so you heard Senator Corker, right, laying out if they give this, we'll give this as well. Entitlements is what he's saying on the Democratic side. What would you be open to when it comes to entitlements, like Medicare, for instance?
Well, the president has signaled, and I would be open to reducing costs in Medicare. I think the Affordable Care Act made a good down payment that way in reducing overpayments to Medicare Advantage plans. We can reduce overpayments to pharmaceuticals. We can cut costs by focusing on making sure that services delivered actually make the patient better rather than just paying for the number of services. There are ways to bring down costs without attacking the benefits under Medicare. Social Security, a little more difficult. I think many of us would support raising the lid at which payroll taxes are paid into the system. That would help preserve Social Security for another generation. So there are changes Democrats have been willing to embrace to reduce costs, to raise revenues to support those programs. But we need a willing partner on the other side. In the House, we don't yet have that.
A grand bargain possible? Is it too tall of an order?
It is possible. It is a tall order, and I think we have a limited window to get it done, probably over the next 6 months. But I think the charm offensive the president is undertaking is being successful. I think he is making ground, certainly in the Senate.
What makes you say it's been successful?
Well, just listening to the way the Republicans in the Senate have responded, the clip that you just played of Senator Coburn, I don't think we would have heard that absent the initiative the president has taken. We don't see it yet in the House. We need some courageous leaders in the House to step forward and say that they, too, are open to compromise and open to putting revenue on the table. But I do have hope that we can move forward. It really should be done. It shouldn't be rocket scientists. But one last point is it can't be at the expense of growing the economy and jobs, and that really has to be our #1 priority.
Here's where both sides may agree. Take a listen to this.
Is he right that we don't have an immediate crisis?
We do not have an immediate debt crisis, but we all know that we have one looming.
To borrow a phrase from my friend Erskine Bowles in the Fiscal Commission, we are the healthiest looking horse in the glue factory. We do not have a debt crisis right now, but we see it coming. We know it's irrefutably happening.
So a lot of folks worried about that glue factory here, Congressman. The president had earlier said that the debt crisis was a concern when he spoke with to Joe and Mika during a conversation earlier on. You had said that that crisis was a concern. The president has changed his tone on that. Why has he done so?
Well, the debt remains a concern, but we have made, I think, a very significant down payment on our deficit and debt with the Budget Control Act, with the fiscal cliff deal, and now with the sequester, which I hope will have a short life. So we've made a significant dent already, but I think the president is placing the priority on growing the economy and jobs, and that's where it should be. Half of this year's deficit is attributable to people who are unemployed. We can get people back to work. They're paying into the system. That's bringing down the deficit. That's much better than the alternative, which is an austerity budget that results in layoffs, that just aggravates.
You're saying over 2 years things have changed, things are better now?
Things are definitely better now. The fiscal picture has brightened, the economy is brightening still, and we need to keep up that momentum. The last thing we want to do when the economy is poised to recover is throw another man-made obstacle in the way.
All right, great. And who are you calling for March Madness?
I don't know. My team, Stanford, probably not going to have a shot this year, but
You gotta go.
I can't go with Cal.
All right. Get out of here. Now I'm joking. Congressman Adam Schiff, thank you so much for stopping by today. Today's tweeted.